Jai Jai Shri
Jaya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Can somebody please read?
I can read.
Yes, please.
When he reached Banaras, Sanatan learned that the Lord was there and he became overjoyed. He was informed by the people that the Lord was staying at the house of Chandrasekhar, and Sanatan went there. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was inside the house, he could understand that Sanatan had arrived at the door, and he asked Chandrasekhar to call in the man who was sitting there. He is a Vaishnav, a great devotee of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Chandrasekhar came out to see the man, but he saw no Vaishnav at the door. He saw only a man who appeared to be a Muslim mendicant. The Lord then asked to see the mendicant, and when Sanatan entered the courtyard, Lord Chaitanya hurriedly came out to receive him and embrace him. When the Lord embraced him, Sanatan became overwhelmed with the spiritual ecstasy, and he said, "My dear Lord, please do not touch me." But they embraced each other and began to cry. Seeing Sanatan and Lord Chaitanya acting thus, Chandrasekhar was struck with wonder. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Sanatan to sit down with him on a bench. The Lord was touching the body of Sanatan with his hand, and again Sanatan asked him, "My dear Lord, please do not touch me."
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Banaras. He's staying in the house of Chandrasekhar Acharya. Sanatan Goswami, he's escaped from the prison of the Nawab and he's come to Banaras to see Lord Chaitanya. He asks and then he understands that Lord Chaitanya is staying in the house of Chandrasekhar. So when when Sanatan Goswami was outside the house, Lord Chaitanya told Chandrasekhar, "You go outside. There's a great Vaishnava outside." And Chandrasekhar went outside. He saw nobody. He says, "I just see a Muslim mendicant there." And then, but Lord Chaitanya knew that it's Sanatan Goswami, so he rushed out to meet him. And then, of course, because he's a great devotee, Sanatan Goswami. So Lord Chaitanya was very, very pleased to meet him. When we meet somebody we are really close to, we're really affectionate with, we'll hug them, we'll kiss them. We might even cry if we have met meeting them after some time, after some separation. So this is the relationship between Lord Chaitanya and his devotees.
"I am touching you just for my purification," the Lord replied, "for you are a great devotee. By your devotional service, you can deliver the whole universe and enable everyone to go back to Godhead."
So although Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself, but he's in the mood of a devotee, So when Sanatan Goswami is saying, "Please don't touch me," because Sanatan Goswami knows that Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. So then Lord Chaitanya is saying, "No, why? You are able to deliver everyone. You're such a pure devotee that you can deliver the whole universe. So even I want to go back home, back to Godhead, and that's the reason I'm doing that."
For my purification.
Yeah, so see,
Imagine,
he's the Lord himself.
The Lord
This
is saying
is
to his devotee. Yeah.
Yeah, and we say, "Oh, I'm so great. I'm so
Yeah.
great." I'm doing this and I'm so great. And here the Lord himself is so humble.
The Lord then quoted a nice verse from the Vedic literature stating that a person who is a devotee of Lord Krishna and is 100% engaged in devotional service is far better than a Brahmana who is versed in all the Vedic literatures, but who does not engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Because the devotee carries the Supreme Lord within his heart, he can purify every place and everything.
Then Lord Chaitanya is saying, and one may be a Brahman. Brahman means he has understood the absolute truth as Brahman, as a Brahmajyoti. So he knows Shastras, he's very scholarly, he knows the Vedas, he can recite, he knows the grammar, the logic, everything. But one who's a devotee of Krishna, a pure devotee, when he's saying 100% engaged in devotional service, mean one who's a pure devotee. So pure devotee is even higher than a Brahman. As we read yesterday, a Vaishnava is higher than a Brahmana. A Vaishnava is a Brahmana and more. Why? Because he has developed love and devotion for Krishna. He has this devotion for Krishna, and that's the reason he has this love for Krishna, and that's the reason he's serving Krishna out of love. The service is out of love. That's it. And such a pure devotee, wherever he goes, he purifies. Like Mother Ganga was saying, everyone is going to come and bathe in me. All the sins are going to come in me. What's going to happen to me? And Krishna says, but the pure devotees are going to come there and they will purify even you. So the pure devotees, wherever they go, they purify everything and everyone they come in touch with.
The Vedic literature also states that the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not recognize a non-devotee who is very learned in all the divisions of the Vedas, but he likes a devotee even if he was born in a low family. If one offers charity to a Brahmana who is not a devotee, the Lord does not accept it. But if anything is offered to a devotee, the Lord accepts it. In other words, whatever a person wishes to offer the Lord may be given to his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also quoted Srimad Bhagavatam to the effect that even if a Brahmana was born in a high family and is qualified with the 12 Brahmanical qualities, he is lower than the lowest of the low if he is not a devotee of the Supreme Lord. Although a devotee may have been born in a Chandal dog-eater family, by devotional service, he can purify his whole family for 100 generations, past and future, whereas a proud Brahmana cannot purify even himself. Lord Chaitanya then said to Sanatan, quoting the Hari Bhakti Subodaya. Should I read it or should I stop here or should I finish this one?
No, sure. Yeah, finish.
Akshano phalam twadrisha darshanam hi tano phalam twadrisha gatra sangha jivaha phalam twadrisha kirtanam hi sudurlabha bhagavata hi loke. O devotee of the Lord, to see you is the perfection of the eyes, to touch your body is the perfection of the bodily activities, and to glorify your qualities is the perfection of the tongue, for it is very rare to find a pure devotee like you.
So then Lord Chaitanya, he's not stopping by just saying this verse from the Vedas that, a devotee is higher than a Brahmana. But he's quoting other Shastras also. He's giving more and more evidence. He's quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, he's quoting from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya to clarify the point, which is the position of a devotee. That a position of a devotee is much higher than one who is only just a scholar or a logician. Yeah, and of course a non-devotee, because the devotee has developed his love for Krishna. He has the devotion, no? So no matter the devotee is born in whatever kind of family, he's still higher. He's able to, what do you say, liberate, get his ancestors liberated, like Prahlad Maharaj. You know, he's born in a demoniac family, and Lord Nishingadev tells him, oh, you're how many generations before and after? Some say 14, some 27. I'm exactly not sure. They already delivered before and after. So why? Because Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee. That's how Bali Maharaj becomes a pure devotee, because Prahlad Maharaj is a pure devotee. And so here, Lord Chaitanya is giving so much evidence for that. That a pure devotee, he can purify his whole family. Doesn't matter what family he's born in. And then, of course, Hari Bhakti Sudodaya is saying that to see also a pure devotee, it's the perfection of eyes. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hai. The Shastras say that. Sadhu sangha sarva shastra kahe. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hai. Just by a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can get the greatest benefit. Sarva siddhi, one achieves the highest benefit. So he's saying that to glorify a pure devotee is a perfection of the tongue, to see a pure devotee, perfection of the eyes. So it's not only to see or glorify the Lord or the Lord's qualities, but also for the pure devotees. Because Lord Shiva, when Parvati Devi asks him, what's the greatest worship? So then Lord Shiva tells her that worship of Lord Vishnu is the highest. But, O Devi, the worship of things related in Lord Vishnu is even higher than worship of Lord Vishnu himself. That is to say, the worship of the devotee is even higher than of the Lord himself. And that's how the Lord has made it. That's how Krishna is. He's so compassionate. He wants to give all honor to his pure devotees. He wants his devotees to be glorified. That's the love Krishna has for his devotee.
Like even Haridas Thakur, when that prostitute who came to Haridas Thakur, she also got purified just by Haridas Thakur association.
Yes. Oh, yes. 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 Very powerful. Association with a sadhu, very, very powerful. Yes.
Next, the Lord told Sanatan, Krishna is very merciful and is the deliverer of the fallen souls. He has saved you from Orava. Srimad Bhagavatam describes Maharorva. Okay, that's a hell. Maharorva as a hell meant for person engaged in killing animals. For it is stated there that butchers and animal eaters go to that hell. I do not know the mercy of Krishna, Sanatan replied. But I can understand that your mercy upon me is causeless. You have delivered me from the entanglement of material life. Then the Lord asked, how did you get free from custody? I understand that you were arrested. Sanatan then narrated the whole story of his release. The Lord then informed him, I saw your two brothers and advised them to proceed towards Vrindavan.
Anyway, they're exchanging. Lord Chaitanya is asking him, of course, Sanatan Goswami saying, you saved me. You're the one who's taken me out of my hellish life. So then,
Lord Chaitanya then introduced Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra to Sanatan, and Tapan Mishra pleasantly invited Sanatan to dine with him. The Lord requested Chandrasekhar to take Sanatan to a barber and make him gentle, for Sanatan had grown a long beard, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like. He asked Chandrasekhar to provide Sanatan not only with a bathe and clean shave, but with a change of clothes as well.
so Sanatan, he had been traveling. So then Lord Chaitanya wanted to see him as a Vaishnava. So that's why Lord Chaitanya is telling Chandrasekhar that.
After Sanatan had bathed, Chandrasekhar offered him some good cloth. When Lord Chaitanya was informed that Sanatan had not accepted the new garments, but later accepted only some used garments from Tapan Mishra, he was very glad. The Lord went to Tapan Mishra's house for lunch and asked him to keep food for Sanatan. Tapan Mishra did not offer Sanatan food immediately. However, but after the Lord had finished eating, there were some remnants of his food, and those remnants were offered to Sanatan while the Lord took his rest.
So we can see Lord Chaitanya, he's very caring. He's seeing, making sure Sanatan Goswami is resting, making sure he has clothes, making sure has food. Then, of course, Tapan Mishra, he's giving him the Mahaprasad, no, of Lord Chaitanya. That's why he waited till Lord Chaitanya, because it's mercy to have Lord Chaitanya's remnants.
After resting, Lord Chaitanya introduced a Maharashtrian Brahmana, a devotee of his, to Sanatan. And that Brahmin invited Sanatan to accept lunch daily at his place as long as he remained in Banaras. As long as I remain in Banaras, I will beg from door to door, Sanatan said. But the Lord will be so good, but the Lord will be so good as to accept this invitation for daily lunch at your house.
The Brahmana is telling Sanatan Goswami, you come and eat every day at my place. Sanatan Goswami is saying, no, it's the Lord will come and eat at your place every day. I'll go and beg every day, you know.
Lord Chaitanya was very much pleased by his behavior of Sanatan, but he noticed the valuable blanket that had been given to him by his brother-in-law while Sanatan was en route to Banaras. Although Lord Chaitanya did not say anything about the blanket, Sanatan understood that he did not approve of such a valuable garment on his body, and therefore Sanatan decided to get rid of it. He immediately went back to the bank of the Ganga, and there he saw a mendicant washing an old quilt. When Sanatan asked him to trade the old quilt for a valuable blanket, the poor mendicant thought that Sanatan was joking with him. How is this? The mendicant replied. You appear to be a very nice gentleman, but you are mocking me in this unmannerly way. I'm not joking with you, Sanatan informed him. I'm very serious. Will you kindly exchange your torn quilt for this blanket? Finally, the mendicant exchanged his torn quilt for the blanket, and Sanatan returned to the Lord. Where is your valuable blanket? The Lord immediately inquired. Sanatan informed him about the exchange, and the Lord loved him for this and thanked him. You are intelligent enough, and you have now exhausted all your attraction for material wealth. In other words, the Lord accepts a person for devotional service only when he is completely free from all material possessions. The Lord then told Sanatan, it would not look good for you to be a mendicant and beg from door to door with such a valuable blanket on your body. It is contradictory, and people would look on it with abhorrence.
So Lord Chaitanya was telling him that, you know, now you have taken up the life of a mendicant, you've become a Babaji. And then you're having such a valuable blanket, people will wonder what you're doing. Also, it doesn't look good. So Lord Chaitanya was happy that he's given up his last attachment also, because after all, the role that Sanatan Goswami is playing is that of a mendicant. Same we will hear Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was pure devotee of the Lord, and he has he has a golden swing and golden plates, and even you know, all opulent. But because that's the part he was playing, and here Sanatan Goswami is playing the part of a Babaji. So Lord Chaitanya is teaching how one has to act properly according to the position.
Whatever I am doing to become free from material attachment is all your mercy, Sanatan replied. The Lord was very much pleased with him, and they discussed spiritual advancement.
So this is very nice. That Sanatan is not
Previous
saying,
to this meeting,
I'm sorry. So I just wanted to say that
no,
this
no,
is
sorry,
something nice. Yeah. is very nice because Sanatan Goswami is not saying, oh, I'm so great, I have no material attachment anymore. See, I'm so renounced. Because then again, that comes to that I, right? Again, then that's not really renunciation. Oh, I am so renounced. That's also pride. But he's saying it's your mercy. So that's the humility. And the Lord always wants to say us with this humility. That's why Lord Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that we need to tie the verse Trinadapi Sunichana Tarorapi Saisuna Amanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. Make a garland of it around our neck. And in that frame of mind, we'll be able to chant the holy name constantly. Okay.
Previous to this meeting between Lord Caitanya and Sanatan Goswami, the Lord had met a householder devotee named Ramananda Rai. At that meeting, which is discussed in the later chapters, Lord Caitanya asked Ramananda Rai questions, and Ramananda Rai replied as if he were the Lord's teacher. However, in this case, Sanatan put questions to the Lord, and the Lord answered them.
So,
The instructions of Lord Caitanya to Sanatan Goswami are very important for people in general. The Lord taught him the process of devotional service, which is the constitutional occupation of every living entity. Because this is so, it is every man's duty to advance in the spiritual science. Many subjects were thoroughly discussed in the talks between Lord Caitanya and Sanatan Goswami. Due to the mercy of Lord Caitanya, Sanatan was able to put important questions before him, and these questions were replied to properly.
so we can see the Sambandha Gyan. Lord Chaitanya is saying it's the duty of every man to advance in spiritual science. It's not that, if we want to, if we have time for it, if we have the inclination for it. Lord Chaitanya is saying, no, it's every man's duty to understand what is the constitutional occupation of every living entity. What is the Sanatan Dharma? Constitutional occupation, that's Sanatan Dharma. So,
The meeting of Sanatan Goswami and Lord Caitanya teaches us that to understand spiritual subject matters, one must approach a spiritual master like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and make submissive inquiries. This is confirmed in the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita 4.34, where Lord Krishna says that one should approach a man of authority and learn the spiritual science from him.
So then Prabhupada is pointing out that we can see Sanatan Goswami, he's approaching Lord Chaitanya, he's putting forth relevant inquiries with humility. And that is Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita, that just try to learn the truth from a spiritual master. Put inquiries to him, serve him, and the inquiries have to be put submissively. So this is what Sanatan Goswami is doing. That we need to understand spiritual subject matters from a spiritual master who knows the truth, Tattvadarshi. Lord Chaitanya, of course, he's the Lord himself. So Sanatan Goswami is setting an example. He's being an example. So we'll stop here for today. These are teachings to Sanatan Goswami, which is the next chapter. I think we can stop here, and if there were any comments or questions.
No.
And Sanatan Goswami's brother is Rūpa Gosvāmī, right?
That's right. And
Correct?
Lord
Yes.
Chaitanya, he instructs Rūpa Goswami in the Rasa Tattva. The 5 mellows, devotional service, and
Yeah.
how to do devotional service, and all that Rūpa Goswami has put in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which
Right.
Srila Prabhupada translated as Nectar of Devotion.
Okay. Right.
It
He was
speaks
the one, right?
of-
Rūpa
I'm sorry?
Gosvāmī. Rūpa Gosvāmī was the one who wrote, right? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. He wrote Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Rūpa Goswami is the Acharya for Abhideya, the process of devotional service.
Oh,
Sambandha is Sanatan Goswami, Abhideya is Rūpa Goswami, and Prayojana is Raghunath Das Goswami. So Sambandha is the relationship, like we just heard Prabhupada
yes.
saying that Lord Chaitanya is telling Sanatan Goswami that it is the Sanatan Dharma of everyone to engage in devotional service. One should try to understand what is one's spiritual duty. That is, we should know our relationship with Krishna, our sambandha. When that relationship is set, then we will understand, oh, it's my duty to engage in devotional service. Then one will engage in devotional service. And then that will bring one to perfection, goal, love of God. That is prayojana. So let's stop here for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and joining in. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.